You cheated. Maybe not on a partner, maybe not on a test, but somewhere, somehow, you broke a promise you made to someone who trusted you. And the scariest part, you had a reason, a real one that made complete sense inside your head. That's what nobody's talking about. Not the what, not even the who, the dark, uncomfortable reason behind why humans cheat and why almost every single one of us is capable of it. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you're going to see yourself in ways you never expected. Psychologists have studied cheating for decades, on partners, on exams, on taxes, in games, in business, and what they found shook them. It wasn't the bad people who cheated most. It was the ordinary ones. People with good jobs, loving families, strong morals, people just like you. The question isn't, are you capable of cheating? The real question is, what would it take? Because science says there's a number, a threshold, a breaking point. And for most humans, it's closer than you think. Let's look at the first dark truth. When you cross the line, your brain doesn't actually call it cheating. It calls it surviving. It calls it justice. It calls it what I deserved. Neuroscientists at Harvard discovered that when humans are about to cross an ethical line, the prefrontal cortex, the moral decision maker, quiets down, and a different region fires up, the one tied to self-preservation and reward. In other words, your brain protects you from guilt before the act even happens. It's called moral disengagement, and it's terrifyingly effective. You stop seeing yourself as a cheater. You become the victim who had no choice, the hero who was pushed to the edge by circumstances outside of their control. She never paid attention to me. Everyone else does it. I worked harder. I deserve that grade. The system is rigged anyway. Sound familiar? Because those aren't excuses. To the brain, those are reasons, legitimate ones. That's the danger. Now let's go deeper, because there's something much darker underneath all of this rationalization. Most cheating isn't about greed. It isn't even about pure desire or opportunity. It's about one fundamental thing: disconnection. When people feel unseen, undervalued, like the rules were built against them and not for them. When that happens, the psychological contract we have with society breaks entirely. Think about it clearly. Why does a loyal employee suddenly start stealing from the company? Why does someone in a happy marriage start texting someone else at 2 a.m. in the dark? Why does a straight-A student decide to cheat on just one single exam? Because somewhere along the line, they stopped feeling like they belonged to the system they were cheating. A 2021 study from the University of Michigan found something profound about this behavior. The single greatest predictor of cheating behavior wasn't low morals or a lack of character. It wasn't even opportunity. It was feeling completely invisible and unappreciated. When people feel like they don't matter, like the outcome is already fixed against them, the moral cost of cheating drops to almost zero instantly in their minds. They're not breaking the rules. In their internal narrative, the rules already broke them first. But here's where it gets exceptionally dark. Cheating isn't just something people do in a vacuum. Over time, it becomes something they actually are. Psychologists call this identity drift. Every small compromise, every little shortcut you take, every time you cross a line and nothing bad happens to you, your brain slowly recalibrates its internal compass. It says, that's not wrong because I did it, and I know I'm not a bad person. So the line moves. What felt impossible to cross at age 20 feels completely normal, acceptable, and justified at age 30. It always starts small, copying one single answer on a sheet, telling one white lie to cover a track, one night of feeling seen by someone who wasn't your partner. And your brain says, well, you already crossed that line anyway. Who are you protecting now by holding back? This is called the what the hell effect, originally coined by researchers studying diet and weight loss behaviors, but it applies to almost everything in human psychology. Once you've cheated once and survived the immediate consequences, the second time costs you almost nothing. The psychological barrier evaporates. The guilt is muted. The third time you do it, you don't even cease to think about the morality of the action. By then, cheating is no longer an active, conscious decision. It has settled comfortably into your default operating system. And now we arrive at the part that is going to make you profoundly uncomfortable. Research by behavioral economist Dan Ariely, author of The Honest Truth About Dishonesty, found something nobody in society wanted to hear or accept as reality. It's not career criminals driving most of the financial and personal cheating in the world. It's ordinary, honest people. People with exceptionally strong core values. People who donate to charity regularly. People who help strangers cross the street. People who genuinely, deeply believe in their core that they are good humans. Why does this happen? Because good people are fundamentally better at rationalizing their flaws. They have more sophisticated, complex mental frameworks to explain away bad behavior. They are superior storytellers to themselves, better at constructing the narrative, where they are still the undisputed hero of the story, even while actively doing something fundamentally wrong and hurtful to others. The cheating businessman tells himself he's just providing for his family's future. The cheating student tells himself the academic system is entirely broken anyway. The cheating partner tells themselves they stayed long enough, they gave enough, they deserve happiness. Having a strong moral compass doesn't protect you from the temptation of cheating. Sometimes, ironically, your goodness enables it by giving you better excuses. So here is the heavy question I want to leave you with today. Not, have you cheated in the past? That's not the real issue, but rather, what story are you currently telling yourself right now? What narrative are you building at this very moment? That's slowly making something fundamentally wrong feel perfectly reasonable. What relationship? What system? What ethical rule have you already mentally opted out of, even before you've officially taken physical action on it? Because the dark reason humans cheat isn't because they are inherently evil. It isn't just a simple lack of willpower or weakness of character. It's the desperate, deeply human need to feel like what we're doing makes logical sense. The need to still deserve to see ourselves as good people, even when we are blatantly not acting like good people. The most dangerous cheater in the world isn't the one who knows they are wrong. It's the one who has completely, flawlessly convinced themselves they are right. So take a step back, examine your internal monologue, check your story carefully. Do it today before it quietly rewrites who you are. If this video made you stop and think, even for just a split second, drop a comment down in the section below and let me know your thoughts. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more psychological deep dives. Thank you for watching, and stay safe out there.